have to stand there and give him directions.
Morning, Tom.
And I said, he thought long.
It's not an easy place to work.
Huh?
For anyone.
Enjoy that at all. But
You should be happy
I got a
tomorrow.
30-year career.
Yeah.
That's,
It's like you got the weight of the world on.
I mean, I.
You should be happy with Laura.
I am.
Yeah.
Well, every day.
You were just thinking about Phil going by your driveway every day.
You need somebody that will do the full.
Oh.
That need a good dedication.
No, yeah,
That's my goal.
it's coming, right? I don't know.
7 years or so.
Good worker.
You'll have it.
Teledrama. That learn quick.
Holy crap. Tom's on here?
Yeah.
It's to work and
Quiet.
damn you.
Yeah, he is kind of quiet, but that's not a bad thing either.
He did some good nights, the weekends, holidays, getting ordered in.
It was hunting and fishing, of course, I get it. Say, it's credit to people that, for that job, because he just didn't like it. But said he was gonna be back.
The burnout. There it is.
Late today.
He's not coming
Yes.
today.
Not here?
No, he's at a training.
What are you starting at?
We'll have a short meeting.
I was just gonna say, so it'll be done by 8:15.
Yeah, if you don't talk, and I don't ask any questions.
It'll be.
We'll see how long Phil talks today.
Oh, yeah.
2 minutes.
You should have some kind of a speech, right?
Yeah.
Morning, Gary.
If he can make it shorter than I usually do.
2 minutes? What's everyone staring at me for?
You don't have an extra pen. I didn't.
There you go.
Thank you.
I need that back though, so I can write ticket.
Okay, gotcha. Congratulations.
No, my phone.
Oh,
It's like, hey, don't do that, I hate that. That might not.
He's going rogue now that he's.
He starts it. Fine, a little bit.
Yeah.
Fox 52.
Uh,
Hey, it's 8 o'clock. I will call the Emergency Services Committee to order. First thing on the agenda is to approve the minutes from February 12th.
Should approve.
Motion is made and seconded to approve the minutes from February 12th. Any further discussion? Okay, all those in favor say aye. Opposed say no. Motion carried. Public comment? Public comment? Public comment? Public comment is closed. Emergency manager, I know Tom isn't here.
No, he just said if there's any questions that he will be available by phone,
Okay,
but he's at a training today.
right, yeah, he said he wasn't. What?
Big ticket item on the. Good morning.
Yeah. Um. So,
Happy to buy one and.
okay, I think you've seen, his sent out as an email. Is there any, or that was in the packet that Miranda had? Is there any questions on that and everything? Or I guess we can take a quick look at that. was the new ambulance when he read that. Um, okay, well, we can just go over this. You can see what he had for training, well, the dispatcher stuff there. If there's anything working on the radio, I help dispatchers get approved. The ambulance, the new one will be delivered in a couple of days. And
We'll see.
no issues. Preparing the rigs for radio. That, DOT will be here to go over the new rig. He's at the conference, instruction meetings attended. I guess the next thing then, there are no training requests from him, I don't think. We can approve the bills for him. Any questions on that? See the big one, shot for the new ambulance. Any questions on any of the bills? Like they're getting a lot of stuff. Okay, if there are no questions, I'll entertain a motion to approve the bill for the
Oh,
okay, motion's made and seconded to approve bills for the all those in favor say aye. Opposed, say no. Okay.
Morning. Morning. Our polls were 4 natural deaths, 0 autopsies, 9 cremations, 4 hospice deaths, 0 on-call time, 1 donation call. And I do see there over on the left-hand side, I've been going in with little column of. Online training is going good. We have Tracy Morris. Who's hired as a deputy medical examiner. And she's taking the basic training course right now. I'm still planning on doing more scanning. I haven't gotten to it yet. I do have an issue that I ran into, and this, we somehow lost a cot cover. Cot. I checked Ramsey County. I called the hospital in case they had one. There, the funeral home doesn't have it. Order a new cot cover. I am gonna see if the funeral home has maybe an older one that goes over the cot like ours does. They use under the cot. So that's probably gonna be about a $300 expense. You guys know.
what's the difference between that and a body bag?
Well, the thing is that you put it over the top of the decedent
Okay,
whenever they like you put the body bag on, tighten it up, put it over the top. Just I have no idea. The only thing that I could think of was that we left it at Ramsey County when we transferred a body, and they said they didn't have one. And I guess that, taught me a good lesson to make sure we write our name side of everything that we have on the cot and all that stuff. So I still have a couple more options of, maybe I can find a used one. One of the places around here, so. That only, department that I have at the moment. Budget is still under,
Again, this is the 2024 budget. They haven't done anything for 2025 yet.
and I think last time I was here, I told you guys that everything was in. I was missing part of an autopsy. So that did get this time, so it was the last year.
Any questions on? Let's look at you mentioned the budget, questions on the budget. Questions on that? Yeah, this is still 2024. Okay, if none, let's take a look at the bills. And there's the autopsy you were talking about. You had mentioned that last
Yeah,
time too.
that goes on last. There's, yeah.
Questions for her? Okay, if not, I'll entertain a motion to approve payment of medical examiner.
Second.
A motion's made and seconded. Bill, any further discussion? None. All those in favor say aye. Say no, motion carried. Okay. Moving to the sheriff, last time.
There you go, sir.
Aren't you gonna have your pardon speech?
Well, when you're done.
Okay. Okay, so for February, our ADP was 24. We currently have one inmate. Had one inmate. He's no longer on EMP. We're going to have another one just turned their paperwork in. The number 3 for housed out of county, it's on there, but we actually aren't housing them out of county. We have 2 inmates. One's on EMP in Taylor County. One's on EMP in Barron County, because that's where they work. And the third person on there isn't really housed out of county, but that inmate's sentence is really weird, where they only report to jail on the weekends. So they show up Friday evening and leave Monday morning. So we aren't paying to house any inmates out of county. Training, that child abuse and neglect training was canceled. For those 2 at Northwood Tech. Remember why it was canceled? I don't recall.
It was when it was that really
That
cold
was a
weather
cold
day.
day, wasn't it?
So it'll
Oh,
be rescheduled.
and the college was shut down.
Yep.
Upcoming trainings, several of us, our admin team is going to the Law Enforcement Management Conference in Hayward. I don't believe any of us are spending the night in Hayward. We'll all drive back and forth each day. Sergeant Reed is going to the Risen Stun Dynamics research. That's an annual or a biannual research. The Risen Stun is the belt or vest that an inmate wears underneath street clothes if they're in a jury trial. So if a person we're housing in our jail has a jury trial, they can't go to court in their jail oranges. They have to be in street clothes. So that's a belt or a vest that we put on that person under their clothes. So if they want to get owly, we can go and zap them, because they also can't be in handcuffs. So he's, I think, our only
Yeah. Yes.
person that's trained on to use that. Jack Neal. Um, Tech and Olmsted is scheduled to go to Neenah for a Law Enforcement Training Officers Association Conference. He's one of our in-house trainers. And that's a annual conference that the training officers go to. Meetings attended. We had our weekly.
Motion to approve out of county travel. We'll get you caught on this, yeah.
I'm just trying to go quick so I can beat Jeff's time.
You're already over it.
Meetings, we had our weekly radio meeting. We had those every single week. We had one yesterday. For security meeting, and we had a department meeting on the 3rd, I think that was. Patrol all met at Gates and did DAT refresher. Sergeant Anderson, DAT is defensive arrest tactics. And then I was with the jail batch out at Jump River, going over a whole bunch of housekeeping things. Oh, we can skip the special points of interest. Calls for service are there. I don't think there's anything. The drug offenses are down. That's because our drug investigator was out for a couple months. The emergency detention one, two, just so you guys know, it shows 22, but very few of those actually get placed into custody for emergency detention. Those are just our actual calls for that call type. A lot of our emergency detention calls are safety planned by DHHS, which is the least restrictive form of placement. Questions on those? Okay. Next page is patrol overtime. For March, that's almost accurate. The very first one there on March 13th. I'm gonna cancel today because that jury trial came off. So we won't need to fill a shift there. Deputy Engel, his last day with our department is tomorrow. Because we're full staffed, when Deputy Engel leaves, that will not create any overtime because I'll be able to move Deputy Zimmer into Deputy Engel's 5A shift. If we lose one more on patrol, then that will be 4 shifts per week. But with just one person leaving, we can still fill shifts without overtime. We go to the next page, that's the jail overtime for March. That is not accurate. That was accurate prior to us receiving Deputy Remarkowitz's resignation. So just yesterday, I added 12 more shifts to that March overtime posting for the jail. So for March for the jail, there's a total of 16 overtime shifts. And then there's the bills.
Okay, well, let's go back to approving the training request. We had a motion made and seconded. Any further discussion on request? There's Reed is about $995. Neal is 70. Homestead is $515 and the gang is $1,350. So any questions or comments on out of county travel and training? Okay, if not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
We'll say no. Motion carried. Okay, to the bills. Are there any questions on the bill?
Must have bought a Mark's tire for Plan One.
Yeah, that was with, Frank.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Department thing. Sort of.
Did they buy them from there?
Yeah.
They buy.
Rain, I think.
For Renee?
Renee, yeah.
We won't be putting any lights. or s- on.
I think they, this was either.
Any other questions on the bills?
Approve.
A motion has been made to approve the bills. Is there a second? A motion has been seconded. Any further discussion or questions on the bills? A, if not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Motion carried. Okay, budget review. And again, this is still 2020. Any questions on the budget or what is your estimate? Well, this is supposedly year end. Everything in there, is any other major stuff going in? This thing is the jail overtime.
I don't see that getting any better. I actually met with the two jail sergeants yesterday. Discuss options. We have a hiring process in February. We interviewed 3. Of those 3 that we interviewed,
Interviewed
we've got 4 offered positions of 3. 3 were given background packets. Only 2 of them turned them back in. Only 1 of them passed the background. So of the 4 we interviewed, we hired 1. And he's starting in a week and a half. Yep. The other male did not pass the background. Female never turned the background packet in. Called her, left her a message, never received a phone call back. So hired 1. We received a retirement notice yesterday, this morning. That'd be Gene Olson retiring in May. The discussion that I had with the 2 jail sergeants yesterday was, if we lose 1 more person, we're gonna be scraping bottom to staff our jail. How do we do that? Because of the male-female ratio. One of the things that we can do, so right now there's a 5 a.m., 6 a.m., 5 p.m., 6 p.m. Get rid of the 5 shift and just everyone's working 6 to 6. That'll help. But if we lose our person up there, I don't know if we're gonna be able to staff our jail. So
The alternative.
Well, kind of an alternative is if you don't have enough females to do that, then you ship your females out of county and they're housed out of county. And you don't have to have a female on shift at all times, so. Very expensive way to go, but that's what a lot of places are doing. I know Clark County, they're hurting right now. Where my daughter works, there's only 2 gals on nights right now. And if either one of them call in, the other one has to work it. So this week, my daughter will work 6 to 7 days. She's young and she's okay with it, but if they would lose another female, they would have to ship all their females out of county.
Sawyer did that in 2023.
Yeah,
They had to ship all their females to there.
female staff. So that's an alternative, very expensive one, but that's kind of what he's looking at. That's the battle he's got coming, so.
So that the Remarkowitz, Nathan Remarkowitz, that quit jail. He's actually coming to work for the city.
I was just gonna say.
Yeah. One of the jailers that resigned, he's coming to for the city. He's coming to work in the water department. And he worked for us summer help, so we knew what we were getting, obviously. But I mean, he's getting a $2 an hour raise to come work for the city, leaving the jail. I mean, nights, weekends, holidays, getting called in, you know. And that was one of the reasons he left, I mean, he didn't mind what he was doing, but he didn't like the jail. He didn't like the mowers. He didn't like always getting forced to you get a day off and then you get a phone call. Nope, I don't have a day off. I have to come to work. Yeah, I mean, he's going, that's our starting job, our lowest paying job at the public works shop is $2 an hour more than jailers are making. So that's the thought. I mean, and then the 4 people that I had apply, the other 3 would all take pay cuts to come work for me. You know, he was the only one that was actually gonna get a raise. The other ones were taking cuts.
And we've talked about this a few times. I've talked to staff about it. I've talked to people at DOC about it. I just talked to the state jail inspector yesterday about it. Across the state, counties are super struggling to find people to work in their jails and dispatch. I wouldn't see it being crazy that within the next 1 to 3 years, jail staff are going to make more than patrol because the state did that. The state gave their prison correctional officers a giant raise. There were prisons in Wisconsin that were 60% understaffed. People were working 6-7 days in a row. The state decided we need to fix this, gave them giant raises, and the prison system is almost full staff now. It's 2025. In 2024, beginning of 24, I did a background check, background investigation on a person that applied for us that was currently working for the prisons. And the reason they want to leave the prison is because they never got a day off to come work for Rusk County. When I was down there, I met with HR at Dodge, I think it was. And this was right when the state gave them their raises. And my numbers aren't exact, but if I was 19 years old, fresh out of high school, I could have gone and worked for that prison on a night shift. So they had their base pay. And then because in prison in the state of Wisconsin, if you were more than 40% understaffed, there's an automatic $5 an hour raise. If you work nights, there's an automatic $3 an hour raise. I could have started at that prison at $42 an hour. But they're no longer understaffed. All full staffed. So I truly believe that jailers, in order to find people and to keep people, will make more than patrol. I mean, how many patrol applicants do we have right now?
8,
8. And it's been open for what?
a week and a half. And that, I only think that one of them is actually certified. The other ones are either in the academy or haven't even gone to the academy.
So we're gonna have to get creative and really consider pay increases if we want to have a county jail. So just something to think about. And I mean, I'm not saying we have to pay what the state's paying correctional officers, but the state saw the problem and clearly fixed it. But they don't have near the staffing shortages they had a year ago. So something to think about. What's in here? Our holes.
Okay. Any other things on the budget? Questions for them? Okay, if none, let's move on to Well, I guess the next thing is the tower project updates.
We met yesterday. All of the new squad radios and repeaters have been sitting in gates. The repeaters are all programmed. GenCom programmed all those. DSC Communications is coming down from Superior on Monday to program all those that are out at gates. Shortly after that, I will get one of those radios and repeaters installed in my squad, so I can make sure it works before they're all installed in patrol squads. We don't want to install things in patrol that doesn't work. So I'll have it installed in mine for a week or two. I'll do some driving throughout the county. I'll get out of my squad with my portable, go into some businesses, make sure the repeaters work, make sure all the towers, our current towers are working with that radio. Then I will schedule Sound and Logic out of Rice Lake to come here to program all the squads. So guys aren't driving back and forth.
To install.
The what?
To install, not program.
Yes, to install all the radios in the squads. The actual new tower project, we're still waiting on some of the microwave dishes. So it's kind of on hold. Fiber is currently being buried to a few of the tower sites. Did they have, was there any word yesterday on a possible end date? I don't think that was discussed, was it?
Well, at the last meeting it was, and I think it's like May or June that they're thinking.
Not bad since it was gonna be February, but
I think initially they told us June, and when they bumped it up to February, I was like, yeah.
well, wishful thinking.
Hoping by June, it's all done. The only thing we're waiting for is some of those microwave dishes. And those are taking longer than expected, just like with our radios. We ordered a thing called a KVL. And a KVL is a piece of electronic equipment that allows a company like DSC to plug that into each squad radio. So it gives us an encrypted channel. Encrypted channel is a channel that we can talk on to dispatch and from car to car that no scanner can hear. So if we have sensitive information that needs to be broadcast over the radio, we'll switch to that channel and no one else will be able to hear it. But that thing, original ship date was February 2nd. Secondary ship date was February 22nd. I still don't have it. So I told DSC, who cares? You guys can come back later and plug that KVL into the radios. Let's just get everything programmed and installed, and we can do the encrypted channel whenever that KVL shows up.
Do you have any idea when the ambulance ones are getting switched over?
No,
Cause there's a few EMTs are ready to throw the radio against that solid wall, cause we're having major problems.
yeah, but I do know, I did talk to Tom Hall a week or two ago. I gave him that date of next Monday that DSC will be here. So he still has, I think, 3 radios out at Gates. Of the 5, he had to take one of the radios to put in a new, was there a new ambulance?
Mhm.
Okay, he needed one of them right away, so I think he got that programmed by somebody, I don't know. But 3 of his are still out there, and those will get programmed on Monday too.
As well as the portables.
No, so Monday, it'll be a full day just doing the new squad radios.
Okay.
Portables, so it could be a different date. And I don't know where, I'm assuming all of Tom's portables are either with first responders or in ambulances, I would assume. But we will coordinate, try to do that on the same day too.
Yeah.
All of ours will be here, obviously, so he'll have to bring all of his here too, probably, unless he wants to coordinate with DSC to do it elsewhere. So that's where we're at on the radio project.
Any questions for that? Okay, next thing on the agenda is the Gale Captain description.
Yep, so this is the job description. You find human beings to approve. We did have to take a couple things out of it because all of our applicants meet requirement. one of the requirements was an associate's degree.
And a lot of it doesn't make sense that it's in there, and we are trying to change a lot of our job descriptions in general within the county to, there's a big push to not so much look at degrees anymore, but somebody can have the same experience instead of having degrees too. So it's not just, I mean, Phil is exactly right that we didn't receive any applicants who had an associate's degree. But we are trying to really move forward to this approach where or approach where they can have either that degree or some equivalent experience that would still qualify them for the position.
I think we only removed two things, correct?
Yeah, so the resident of Rusk County has removed that really doesn't make sense. There's not any reason why we would need to require them to be within the county. They don't have to respond within a certain amount of time. They're most likely on call. I mean, I think, do they sometimes maybe respond in, but otherwise more available for calls, correct? Yeah, so that requirement of being in Rusk County doesn't really make sense. So pulling that out. And then the second thing that you'll see on there is we're keeping in there that the minimum level of education required in order to perform the duties would be an associate's degree in law enforcement, corrections, or business management, but then, or 5 years law enforcement or jailer experience. So if you don't have that associate's degree, you need to have that equivalent knowledge for that position. And then also the next one with the jailer certification training, if somebody doesn't have that coming in, we will allow them to have the ability to receive that certification within 1 year of starting. And that's typical of any jailer dispatcher that we hire too. They are able to work a certain amount of time as a jailer dispatcher without going through the jail school. So we would allow that for the supervisor position as well. And then the one that we minimum of 5 years law enforcement or jailer experience, that's just struck because it's combined with that degree, so that and or degree.
This was approved at personnel.
Yeah, we did take it to personnel first just because of how the meetings fell. And then after this, it would go to a full board.
Other county residency, does that have a mileage limit on it? Or is this,
No, I don't think we
It does- it
would really
doesn't.
require that.
They
And
don't have a county vehicle. You couldn't, we're not gonna allow someone to live in Alabama. and be
Yeah.
a jail captain.
I think people try things like that.
You have people.
Just got two questions. One, you appoint the jail captain?
Yes.
Strike the deputy sheriff. Okay, that's what I thought.
no,
No.
Well,
it's through the hiring
Application process.
Yeah,
but they're not appointed. It's not an appointed
It's a hired.
position.
okay,
No, it's a hired.
The chief deputy is an appointed position.
yeah.
We're not talking about that yet.
Any other questions regarding the jail captain job? So you would like a motion to approve it and move it to the county board?
Correct.
I'd like for you to prove it and say, go ahead and hire, but that's what I'd like.
Well, we'll give him half of what he wants. We'll move it to county board.
Thank you.
Second that.
Who made the motion? You did? Okay. Motion made and seconded to approve this job description and move it to the county board. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Opposed say no. Motion carried. Okay, release of service weapon, Sheriff Wallace.
Yeah, usually, it's been past practice when someone retires our department, they're allowed to keep their service weapon and, a new one has already been ordered and received to replace his.
So that's, yeah, second.
Motion made and seconded to approve the release of the service weapon, Sheriff Wallace. Further discussion or questions? Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say no. Motion carried. Anything else?
I don't have anything, Jeff?
Well, I just want to say, this is my last meeting. Been a ride. I've enjoyed it very, very much, but comes that time when you know it's time to go, and it's my time to go. You guys have been great to work with. We've had our agreements, disagreements, and that's how it should be. But we've always professionally worked through it and moved on. This has been a great committee and I love doing it, and it's time for me to go, and I just want to say thank you guys very much.
Thank you.
On
your service.
behalf of the committee, thank you too for your years of service and everything. Well,
And
Adjourns. Okay, go on.
you want me to finish the notes?
No, it's fine.
okay, anybody have anything else? Yes. Okay, next meeting date, April 9th. AM, that,
I won't make it.
okay. So with that, if there's no other things, I'll adjourn the meeting at 8:47. And thank you all for coming. Yeah, if they approve the job description.
Oh, okay.